So I think prices in the car market are about to skyrocket or tank, and I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of in between these two scenarios. And I can tell you that I'm actually on the opposite side of what most other forecasters, other people on YouTube, even mainstream media, what they're predicting. I think just about the inverse, and I'll tell you about what I think in just a little bit. But let's see what the mainstream view is. Is that prices are going up now, and they're going to continue to go up, and they're going to continue to skyrocket throughout the next few months or so. And we have a few things that are leading them to believe that that's exactly what's going to happen. Well, you have the number one scenario is that we have an increase of sales over the last month and a half. And a lot of this was a pull forward in demand, in my view, of people getting ahead of tariffs. There's been a lot of talk in the car market where you need to buy a car right now before all these tariffs start to take effect onto a lot of these car dealership lots and making prices increase. I've even seen some videos where like Tommy from Delivered, he does car negotiations where he's calling, and salespeople are actually using this tactic to try to get more money out of the buyer, saying, okay, well, you better buy this car right now, because in a few weeks, whenever we start getting new cars on the lot and they're hit with tariffs, well, they're going to be 25% higher than what they are right now, so you better buy right now. That's not going to happen. Even if all of the same rates go straight to these vehicles, the price increases or whatever, these manufacturers know that they can increase the cars by 25% and still have buyers on the other side. So if you ever hear this from a salesman, it's an absolute lie. It's not going to happen. But then you have this other thing that I think is transitory. That's a word that we've all heard a lot of over the last few years, right? But that is, well, we just came out of tax time in the used car market space, and this affects the new car market just a little bit, but either way, it still increases some of the sales. But where you have this pull forward in demand from a lot of people who got tax refund checks, and they spend that on cars. So that's the two things that I think are happening right now in the car market that are elevating sales, that are showing in the data that people are buying more cars than what we are accustomed to around this time of year. And this I think is not sticky. And I understand where a lot of these people are predicting prices to go up, because we have tariffs that are going to inflate prices, and then that we have this data showing that people are still buying cars, that they're actually even buying cars more so than we expected. And I think it's just not a sticky thing in this car market right now. And what I think is actually going to happen is going to be the inverse of what a lot of these what we're hearing in the market and what the data is suggesting is that, okay, all of this is going to be pulled forward to demand. It's not going to continue to materialize in the car market. And what we're going to see is that manufacturers, in the beginning, they are going to try to increase prices. We just had a memo out from Ford to their dealer bodies saying, okay, well, if tariffs are still a thing in a month from now, then you should expect price increases from us. And this is Ford that just spent a ton of money on a marketing campaign giving everyone across the country employee discount, the pricing for employee discounting. I'm mixing my words up here. You understand what I'm saying. But what they were doing is allowing customers to buy cars back of invoice. They were offering invoice pricing and then minus $2,000, $2,500. We all know that invoice pricing is BS anyway, right? Because this is not exactly what a lot of these dealers pay for the car. Yes, it's what they pay for them on paper, but they get all this kind of money from holdback, marketing assistance. They get floor plan assistance, all these kind of things that come from the manufacturer. So, I mean, take that with a grain of sand. And it turns out even that pricing that you could get before they implemented this employee discount pricing was cheaper because of the incentives they had on, and then the negotiability that you could get from these new car dealers. So that's a whole different video all to itself. But all that's to say is that Ford is saying that they are going to increase prices next month because of tariffs, even though they just spent a ton of money trying to move out vehicles. And this is another thing where I'm talking about a lot of this pull forward in demand, I think, that has happened in the market coming from, I mean, just that segment of Ford and Stellantis offering employee pricing, people trying to get ahead of the tariffs before the prices go up, and then also this leftover money from tax, from your tax returns. But I really think all of that's going to go away, and in the face of price increases and uncertainty in the market, I feel like the car market is going to get a lot softer. And I think initially prices are going to go up, but I think it's going to be very, very short-lived because a lot of these manufacturers, a lot of these car dealers, I feel like are going to get hit with a brick wall and of buyers that just aren't going to pay the increased level of prices, and they're going to find that very quickly they're going to have to decrease prices again to be able to actually move some inventory. Now, whenever these manufacturers, they're selling cars, me and you, I mean, average consumers, we're not the buyers, we're not the customers of these manufacturers, it's the dealers. So it's going to be on the dealers to find out where these price points actually make sense. And if you get these dealerships that have price increases, that have market adjustments, they might even call it a special tariff fee on top of a lot of these cars that are coming in to their system, they're going to find out that they can't sell them. So those add-ons, those market adjustments, even the cars that they're trying to sell around MSRP and not being negotiable on them, they're going to find that they're not able to sell them. So they have to actually lower their prices. And it's going to be something that I feel like is going to happen within the next 3 to 6 months. But initially, they're going to try to get all the money they can, you know, as dealerships often do. If there's an extra dollar to be made out there, they're going to try to make it. We have another scenario that's actually happening right now in the car market, and this is something that happens every single year, and I'm seeing it almost even more so this year in the used car market, is that, okay, dealers that did go through tax time and didn't sell all their inventory, well, now they're not trying to buy any new inventory. So right now what I'm seeing is that even though I'm seeing that, okay, and the data is showing that sales volumes are up, I'm seeing fewer dealers at auctions. I'm even able to buy cars earlier this year than we have in the past. Over the last 2 days, we've bought 20 cars. This is very rare for this time of year because usually we're struggling to find 3 or 4 cars in a week, 5, maybe 10 cars in a week around this time frame, because we still have dealerships that are trying to load up on their inventory to get back to where they were after they sold through on tax time. But what I'm hearing from a lot of used car dealers is that this was the worst tax season that they've actually had ever. So what that leads me to believe is that the market is getting softer and it's going to continue to get softer, and all of these dealers that were anticipating much greater sales throughout tax season, much greater money throughout tax season, well, it didn't materialize, and now they're left with a bunch of inventory that they paid too much for, they stocked up, and now they can't go back to auction to go load up. And that's why we're able to go in now and buy more cars for my car dealership. So here's the thing, and this is where I differ from all of the other people that you're seeing on YouTube, prices spike, skyrocket, whatever. I think initially, manufacturers and dealerships are going to try because of the threats of price increases and everything. And then they're going to get hit with that brick wall, and then they're going to see that they have to lower their prices. And in my view, 6 months from now, prices are going to be lower than they are today. And I understand. I could be absolutely wrong. Tariffs could just run over the whole market, and even if there's a demand crunch because prices are going up, manufacturers are still going to keep the prices high. They're still going to push the prices onto the price increases onto the consumer. But I really think that they're not going to be able to. And this is my thought, that the market's going to be so weak that price increases are just not going to be able to happen. And just, I mean, hear what I'm saying. This is going to happen over the next, I think, probably 6 months, because initially, I do think prices are going to go up because manufacturers, dealers are going to try to pass those price increases on to the consumer. But I feel like the consumer where they're already saying no, they're even just going to say no harder. Then we have the other element of, okay, uncertainty in the market. You've seen it in the stock market now, you've seen it all over the news, throwing around that word, the recession word, and even depending on which media outlet you're looking at, depression has also been thrown out there. So if you get those two things in the market, that's also going to take a lot of buyers out of the system. And even if it doesn't happen, even if the economy still rips, you still have all those words floating around the media. That's going to scare some people. So it is going to take some people out of the market. So with all of these things, this is why I'm saying I think that what you're hearing on YouTube, what you're hearing from mainstream media about prices, I think it's wrong, but I also am aware that I could be wrong about this situation too. So take all this with a grain of salt. I think prices are going to go down, but I think it's going to be probably 3 to 6 months from now. And I think over the next few weeks, over the next couple months, they're going to try to increase prices on you, but they're not going to be able to. So we'll see what happens. The good thing about this channel, make sure you subscribe. This is a new channel, different kind of style. The good thing about this is that you get to look at this 6 months from now and say, Brandon, you're wrong. You're an idiot. Whatever you want to say to me, but you can put it down in the comments. What do you think is going to happen?